Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Having some technical difficulties this morning. I hope everyone's staying cool in this hot weather. I know it was heat more advisory the last 2 days. Today's day 3 here. So it's a little warm. I think it was in places like 100, 102 degrees yesterday in the shade. That's Fahrenheit temperature. I'll give it a few minutes and see who all comes in to join us. Someone get me a fresh cup of coffee. Get you some coffee, tea. A soft drink. Okay. All right, we are here. Fresh coffee. I'm running a little delayed this morning, technical difficulties. I hope everyone's doing good this morning. I hope all your family is healthy and safe. If you have fur babies, please hug your fur baby for me today. We lost our beautiful Rebel, our Maltese. He was our baby. He was our world. He was my shadow. He was with me everywhere I went. he's my love. And trigger warning. He was cremated. That's what my husband and I want to have done. I know some people don't believe in that. And ashes come back, and we could not have asked for a better business to deal with our beautiful baby. Good morning. Oh, it's Tessa. How are you this morning? Hope you're staying cool in this hot weather. It's really warm here. We've had a heat advisory out. I think today's day 3. It's very warm. I just wanted to come on today and remember my beautiful dog Rebel, my Maltese. We lost him, and we got his ashes home. So now he's home with mommy and daddy where he belongs. And we could not have asked for a better business to work with. That they have a funeral home, and they also have the pet cremation. Doing well. It's pretty hot here in Arizona. Oh, I bet it is. I think it will be 104 today. Wow. I may be buffering a little bit. I'm having technical difficulties. I don't know if it's StreamYard or what exactly is going on. And trigger warning, I do smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. And we're talking about Rebel, my beautiful dog. We had him for 13 beautiful years, or should I say he had us for 13 beautiful years. He's absolutely amazing. My home just is never going to be the same without Rebel. No matter where I was in my home, he was there. If I was outside, he was there. If I was going for a ride, he was there. So it's really been an adjustment, but everything's going really well. It's taken time. I still find myself looking every now and then for him, for little things that he would always do. Reminds me that he should be here. I guess just going to take some time. And people say, well, how can you mourn that much over a pet? And Rebel was not our pet. He was a member of our family. He was just wonderful. He was so much company to me whenever I was injured at work and just in a cast and on crutches. He was so patient with me and so loving. And that was our Rebel. Rebel was always like that. But the business that we chose, like I said, they have a regular funeral home. They're a very large business, and they also have a pet crematory. And they were so respectful. I'm running on delay. Sorry if I'm buffering. Our favorite fur babies are absolutely our family. Yes, they are. And in some of my lives, when I first was loading up my lives, you'll see Rebel on the couch. I must be buffering, froze up. Sorry, I'm freezing up. We're having technical difficulties. I said, Rebel, are you doing this? I think it's StreamYard. But on almost all the videos that I loaded, you'll see Rebel on the couch beside of me, or if I was outside in our bar area on the deck, you'll see Rebel on the bar stools and on my lap. So I didn't upload any pictures of Rebel. It's a little bit hard yet for me to do that. But the veterinarian they were absolutely wonderful. And they did a thing called clay paws. It's clay paws. And it's a paw print. This paw print was most likely made by your veterinarian or pet cemetery. If you have questions on how, when, or where your print was made, please contact them. And then they make the last paw print in clay, and then you bake it to preserve it. And they actually did this one at the veterinarian's office that morning, the morning that we lost Rebel. And it's absolutely beautiful. It has his name. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. His last paw print and 3 little hearts, one for mommy, one for daddy, and one for Rebel. And it's absolutely beautiful. So that way we have his last paw print. And I said that may have been his last paw print on Earth, but he left paw prints across mine and my husband's hearts. Those paw prints will be there forever. And then I received in the mail, the joy your friend added to your life will stay in your heart forever, from our veterinarian. We're sorry for your losses. And this is all of their staff, from all of their staff. So I thought that was very precious. I'm sorry, I'm running a little delayed. Hello, Mom. Hello, how are you? I'm doing better. Sorry, we're freezing up a little bit this morning. I think it might be StreamYard. But we did, I was saying we did get Rebel's ashes. And the place that we chose was so precious. And when we went to pick up the ashes, they gave us the certificate of cremation. And this, when I read this, How hot is it here? It is right now 87 and rising. And then they gave me this, and when I read this, it brought a tear. It says, "You were my favorite hello, yet my hardest goodbye." And this is from the pet cremation. It says, our thoughts are with you during this difficult time. May you find comfort in your memories and knowing that you gave your pet a good home and a wonderful life. Four-legged friends are a very special part of any family. Special thoughts are with you now that you've had to say goodbye. And I thought that was absolutely precious. And like I was saying, they have a funeral home that my husband and I, that's where we're making our arrangements. And they also have the pet cremation. And they are so thoughtful. They're just amazing. And then this beautiful box with little paws has my little Rebel, his ashes. So they were so wonderful. And they treated everyone like family. And I mean, it was just amazing. So if you do have a furry baby, give that furry baby a hug today from Tammy, from Mom. But my husband, it was really hard. He went to pick up the ashes. He knew I couldn't. I made the trip to the vet that morning, and I just could not do the trip alone to get the ashes. So my husband went and got the ashes. And like I said, trigger warning, we do believe in cremation. And that's what my husband and I have chose to do. And then, of course, now we have Rebel's ashes with us. And I do smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. I'm not real professional at all. My mind is still here and there, but I'm doing much better. I had the one day took my car and cleaned everything inside, detailed everything inside, then went to the car wash and then detailed everything outside, because at first I didn't want to get back in the car because my last trip with Rebel was a little bit sad. And they were hoping, and I was hoping that morning, they even put him in the oxygen tent, hoping that he would bounce back. He's had seizures before, but they were more rapid. And the weekend leading up until Monday, it was almost one seizure after another. And it was really hard. Last night I have a crazy dream. I dreamed my grandmother and great grandmother, which about this is like a message or guild. What do you think about this? Is it like, what was your message? Did you see something that was familiar, or whenever you had your dream? Because sometimes I think our dreams do have a message, I do believe that, I believe that completely. Right before I lost Rebel, I had a dream, and it was me and Rebel. It was like I speak and I have fun times. Maybe they're trying to bring some joy to your life, and they're visiting you in your dreams. I do believe that happens, and sometimes, even though we don't really think we need it, I think that's what happens. They'll come and visit us in our dreams and lift our spirits. Like I was saying, I had a dream right before I lost Rebel, and he and I were out, and we were in the woods, and we were walking, and he was just having an absolute blast. And then next day is when the seizures started. And I think it was, to me, like maybe a warning that something was going to happen. And I think the last live stream that I had done before I lost him, he had started having seizures then. And so I kept him really close to me, and I had to assist him, and I kept him like almost on a lead so that he couldn't get too far in case he would have a seizure. I'd be right there. And then he seemed to come out of it. And then over that weekend, he had one or two. And then Sunday night, and it was just almost one seizure after another. And then Monday, when I took him to the vet, they put him immediately in an oxygen tent. And they were hoping, like I was, that he would, bounce back, because he's bounced back so many times, but it just was not meant to be. And the vet said he's really struggling, and if you really love him, I think it's time to let go. So that was that was hard. And I think it was the right thing to do. I know that. But I found myself almost being selfish, wanting to hold on just a little bit longer. Because my other grandmother is 90 now. Maybe I need to go see her, and I don't think I have so many problems. Jeez. Yes, it may be. Maybe somebody's telling you go visit someone before it's, before they do get to the point where, especially with the elderly, I worked with the elderly, and it's really hard for the family, grandmas are strong. My grandmother was strong. And whenever I had to go visit her in the nursing home, that was so hard for me. Even though I worked in the nursing home and worked with home health, taking care of the elderly, when it was my own family, it was so hard. And I think that I wanted to remember my grandmother as being the strong lady that she was. She was a Mennonite. She was very strong. Sorry if I'm freezing up a little bit. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard today. But my grandmother was so strong, She lived on a mountain all by herself for many, many years. And there's not a lot of people that can do that. And I remember when I would go up and stay, she had the old dial phone, that you had to dial. She didn't even have the push button. And they didn't even have a private line on her phone. It was a party line. I'm sorry, I don't want to become a sad topic, but I need to ask you. Yes, I would say, maybe they're trying to remind you that of all the good times and happy times. If you have an opportunity to go visit, I would say definitely go visit. And cherish those memories and those happy times. Because I don't think anyone wants us to be sad for any reason. I think everybody wants, I know if when I pass, I don't want anybody crying. I don't want tears. I want them to remember happy times that we had, going camping, going fishing, just family outings and having fun. That's what I want people to remember. And I told my husband, you know, if it's my time, it's my time, and I don't want people to mourn over me and cry. I don't want that. That's just not me. And maybe I've changed a lot of my feelings when I was younger. It probably would have really destroyed me to lose somebody. But now that I'm older and I've worked in the healthcare fields that I've worked in, I know that they're going to a better place. I know that. And if they're struggling or in pain, I know if I was struggling or in pain, I would want to move on, and find peace and rest. So I would say that maybe what your dreams are, just reminding you, of your happy times that you had with your family, and like you said, maybe they want you to come visit. So if you do get that opportunity, I would definitely do that. Whoops, I'm trying to mess with my thing over here. There we go. I'm trying to do too many things. This morning has just been terrible. Everything I started to do, I turned the water on to fill up my coffee pot, and I let the water run over. It was like every little thing I was trying to do, and I finally just said, I'm going to stop a minute and enjoy a cup of coffee and just relax. I think it was a little hard, even more reality, for me whenever my husband brought the ashes in the other day. And we were preparing ourselves for it, but I don't think you can really prepare. When I love something 100%. They're my family, they're my babies. So I love a lot. I have a big heart, and it takes everything that I have to let go sometimes. Even I think that was one of my weaknesses working with the elderly, is I was getting attached to the elderly. But you know what's funny? My grandmother, still, she knows how to use Viber. She's a funny lady. Oh, and you should remember them for their humor and their laughter and all of that. That's what I said with my grandmother. What I was saying is she had the old rotary phone that you had to spin the dial, but not even the push button. And whenever I picked up the phone, there was people talking on the phone, and I said, "Grandma, how can I use the phone? There's already somebody on it." And there was only me and my grandmother in the house. And she said, "Oh, it's a party line." She said, "We don't have a private line up here." So all these neighbors were all on the same line. So when you picked up your phone, you could hear their conversation. And she said, "Just tell them that you need to use the phone and they'll hang up." And so I had to ask them if I could use the phone, and all the neighbors had to hang up their phones so that I could actually call home and let my mom and dad know how things were going. And my grandmother said that's how all these people here get all their information. Duplex line. Yeah, well, here it's they called it a party line because it wasn't it wasn't private. So whoever lived in that area, all of them had the same phone line. So she said, that's how all the neighbors here know what's going on, because they'll pick up the phone and listen, and then hear someone talking, and they'll sit and listen to their whole entire conversation. And I was like, oh my heavens, because in our town we didn't have anything like that. And I don't know, I'd say by now things have changed, but even up to the very last time I stayed at my grandmother's, it was still a party line. This reminds me when you use the internet for the first time. Internet, my neighbor. Oh, no. Wow. Yeah, it was so odd for me, because you pick up the phone, and there's already people talking on it, and you can hear a full conversation. And so I hung the phone back up, and I looked at Grandma and I said, it's only me and you here. How do I hear people on the phone? And that's when she explained, well, it's a party line. We don't have private line here yet. So all of my neighbors are all on the same line, and we all can hear everybody's conversation. But if you need the phone, you just pick it up and ask them, can I use the phone? I'll be on there for about 10 minutes, and then everybody hangs up, and then you can call out. So to me, that was very, very strange. I had never heard of such a thing. But yeah, I mean, I have so many wonderful memories of my grandmother. Of course, my grandfather had passed away, so I guess I was too young. I don't really remember him. And then my grandfather on my mother's side, that would have been my grandmother on my father's side. But my grandfather on my mother's side was still alive. And my great grandmother on my father's side, she lived to be 103 years old before she passed away. And my grandfather on my mom's side was 99. So they all lived a very, very full life. I cannot even imagine being 103 years old. All the things that you had to have witnessed and seen and experienced. I could not even imagine living to be 103 years old. But back then they were tough. They were very tough. And yeah, I mean, my grandfather had several strokes, and before he passed away, and he was still 99 when he passed away. So I don't know if it'll stay that way now. With it seems like there's not many people that make it to be that age anymore. I miss so much old times, no internet, with my friends go outside, play, and we have only TV to watch, some cartoons. After this, we go play again. We don't have phone. It was so nice old times. I agree 100%. Saturdays we had cartoons early in the morning, but we all went out and played outside, had outdoor activities. We rode bikes, we went swimming, we went camping. Things were so different. And a lot of these children now, I don't even know what they would do if they didn't have their phone in their hand and their game stations. And the times change so much. Yes, they do. Yes, indeed, they do. And but yeah, I miss the old times. But I raised my daughter basically the way I was raised. She went out, she played outside, she had outside activities. Her friends would all come over, and of course, my daughter just turned 44 in May. So, that's the newer generation, my grandchildren. I don't know how much activity outdoor activity they do, I don't think they really do hardly any outside activities. Most of them are on their phone and on their internet and stuff like that. I mean, the late hours. Yeah, we actually had now my parents were very strict on what we watched. We had certain programs that we could watch in the evening. Um, Most of them was like Leave It to Beaver and, family oriented programs and our cartoons. We had those on Saturday. And then, of course, we had our regular activities, we had our regular chores. We had visitations with our families. We'd go on weekends to visit to help my grandmother or go help my uncle and my granddad on their dairy farm. So we were always busy. And I think a lot of children really need to get back into that. I just think it makes a more healthy child, a better rounded child. And vitamin D, the sun is great for you. Just not too much of it. On old times, we have, only 4 programs to watch, not like now. Yeah, we had Channel 5 and Channel 12 and Channel 7 and Channel 2. And I can remember my grandmother would get up early in the morning and we'd get all of her chores done because she would watch her soap operas, is what she called them. Like, I think she watched The Young and the Restless and As the World Turns and some different programs like that. And so she'd have everything done and then she could sit and enjoy her programs. And I had never watched anything like that. And she actually was getting me hooked on them. She had fallen and broke her leg, and I went up to stay and help her. And she had me watching those programs with her every day. And so when I come home, I told Mom, I said, I got to catch up on my soap operas. She said, well, we don't have time for that around here. We got chores to do. We got things to do. We don't have time to sit and watch programs. So yeah, things were so different. So different. But I wouldn't give it up for the world. I really think that's who made me the person that I am. We were taught to love our elders, to respect our elders. We were not, my parents were not, I would call strict, but they had things that we knew that we could do, and we knew definitely not to cross that line. If you did, you would have privileges taken away. They called it being grounded. And if you got grounded once or twice, then you didn't ever want to do that again. So my parents were they were wonderful parents. But yeah, like I said, I think our childhood developed very good adult skills for all of us. We've remained really close. We don't have options all the time. You try. Forbidden stuff, you get hurt. That's very true. I mean, I do not believe in capital punishment whatsoever. I don't think I ever can say I spanked my daughter. Now, she did have I tried to raise her, with rules and regulations, and if you do this, then you're going to lose a privilege. She would not be able to maybe go to her friends, or I would take away some privilege, that she really enjoyed, and it would be, like a short term. And she was a good child. I mean, I never really had to discipline her. If I would raise my voice, it would break her heart. She was like, "Oh, Mom, I'm so sorry." So I never really had any complications, I would say, with my daughter. I was very blessed, very blessed. And as she grew older, and I was a single mother, um, she was so strong. If I would be doing something, she would come out and say, "Mom, let me help you," or, "Is there anything that I can do?" And it was amazing. It was teamwork. And I was blessed. I was very blessed. Very, very blessed. But now I just wanted to come on here this morning and let everyone know that I'm doing better. Every day is getting better. I did get my little tiny herb, my 3 little container herbs all up and going. And I was going to get some tomato plant and pepper plant, and I was too late for the pepper plants, but I did get a nice, they're the small, they're not the cherry tomatoes, they're called a grape tomato plant, and it's a real nice plant. And so I got that done. I did, like I said, I went to the car wash, detailed the inside, detailed the outside of my car, took it to the car wash, went shopping. I did go to a really nice little, it's like a craft and whatnot store, and they had so many beautiful quilts in there. I'm going to have to go back one day when I have some more time. And in the back, they had a whole area that was nothing but material and quilt making supplies, and they actually did make quilts right there. And I'm telling you, some of those quilts that were there are so pretty, so pretty. So I want to go back one day when I have some more time and can go back and look through everything. But it was kind of limited on what they did have. So no, down the road here from me, they have a place they call Rinky Dinks, and they have, it's like an old, I think it used to be a Hex store or something similar to that, or similar to a Hex Kmart, and they have all these different areas divided off, and each one is a different store, and they're only open on the weekend. And you can spend hours going from little store to little store to little store, and they've got homemade crafts. They've got, I mean, just anything you could think of. And then they have a parking lot. In the parking lot, there's all kinds of people set up everywhere, having like little yard sales in the parking lot. Each one has their own table and all of that. So it's really nice. So I'd like to go down maybe and hit that this weekend. It's supposed to be beautiful, but I don't know how many people will be out in this heat. Give me just a minute. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to make a bathroom run. But yeah, we're doing really well. Like I said, I think my husband hides things better than I do emotionally, but over the weekend he was saying, boy, this house just it's not the same. Everything's too quiet. And because he's usually out, in and out, in and out. But it was so warm over the weekend, he was in more than he was out. And he said, boy, he said, this house just isn't the same without Rebel, is it? And I said, no. He said, no. He said, I know it has to be bothering you because Rebel was with you all the time. And so he was very sweet. And that's his buddy. Rebel loved me, but he was Daddy's boy. I mean, he just loved his daddy. If my husband come in and out 4 times a day, he would meet him at the door, tail wagging, I'll be right here, Dad. Be right here, Dad. I mean, it was so funny. My husband took the bills down to the mailbox, and you would have thought he was going for 20, 30 minutes. And Rebel's just sitting there waiting for Daddy, waiting for Daddy, waiting for Daddy. And it was so cute. And he said, my goodness, he said, you'd have thought I'd been going for hours, not, long enough to walk out to the mailbox and back. And, but yeah, it was so, I mean, everything is different. There's silence. Of course, I still have my cat, and he was a rescue. We rescued him from the Humane Society. And he is such a love bug. But I don't think we'll be able to have another dog. I think that my husband and I both just said no. After this one, there'll be no more. I told him, I said, it's so funny. Rebel was only a Maltese, but I felt so safe, with him being here because he was always on guard. He didn't realize that he was just a little tiny dog. And if there was any noise or anything, he was on guard. He was protecting Mom all day, all night. So, I'd wake up, hear a bump or something, and it seemed so strange not to have him to wake me up and let me know, hey, Mom, there's somebody messing around or there's something going on. You need to get up and check it. So it's been a big adjustment, a very big adjustment. And Rebel was very verbal. He definitely let you know that he was here, that he was keeping an eye on everything, that he was the guard dog. But you'll see on some of my other lives, I have Rebel beside of me on the couch, or even if I was out on the deck, he had his own little chair. And you'll see how small he was. I think he had small dog syndrome. He didn't know that he was just tiny. But no, I think we both decided. Even my husband said, "No more. I can't do this. I can't go through this again. I don't want to get attached." He said, "Now down the road, if we have a place with some land and maybe some animals or something, maybe get like a farm dog." But he said nothing in the house, nothing that we can get that attached to. But I think I'd be attached either way. I really do. I've rescued I don't know how many animals in my lifetime. Just took them in, gave them a beautiful home. And yeah, just when you open your heart, you open your home, they become part of your family. And Rebel was definitely part of the family. He was our boy. Now, my daughter hasn't been to the house since we lost Rebel. And I know that she's going to notice the difference because, he loved her too. I mean, I don't think Rebel ever met a stranger. He was just wanting to love everybody. Big puppy kisses and, yeah. But yeah, that's what's going on. We're just basically remembering all the good times that we had with Rebel. And now his ashes is home. He's home where he belongs. And like I said, trigger warning. We do believe in cremation, and my beautiful dog Rebel was cremated. And like I said, we used a funeral home that also has a pet cremation. And they were so professional and so kind, loving that they understand that these are not your pets, that these are part of your family. And that, I mean, they were absolutely amazing. And I'm grateful that that's who we chose to go with. I would refer them to anyone that loses one of their fur babies. But they are absolutely amazing. Their staff is amazing. My veterinarian and her staff were absolutely amazing. They definitely helped me through a very, very difficult time. So, but I just want to remember Rebel the way Rebel was, always full of energy, always on the run, always something to see. I remember when we had baby pygmy goats, and the mama didn't claim. She would not nurse the baby pygmy goat. So we had to bottle feed him. And I had a little round cage that I set up and put in the yard for the little pygmy goat. And Rebel kept wanting in with it. And so I finally let him in, and he would watch over that baby goat and lay down and sleep with that baby goat. I mean, he just was amazing with other animals. And I think I have some photos. I'll have to look and see if I can find them of him and the baby pygmy goat together in the little round cage. And I had chickens, and he would just lay there and watch the chickens. It was like he would just wanted to watch everything. He was like, I got it, Mom, And he was so gentle with cats, other dogs. I mean, he was just a love bug. And I know someone said, well, I hope that you get another dog soon. And I said, no, I don't think I can't do that, And my husband and I talked about it, and both of us agreed that no, we don't want to go through this again. I mean, 13 years is a long time. And Rebel had so many allergies. He was allergic to grass, he was allergic to fleas, he was allergic to food coloring. So even though he was really strong, in his own way, he was timid. So I had to be really careful. I had to pre-treat the grass before I could let him out on it. And I had to watch what foods that he had, what medicines that he had. He was allergic to medicines. I mean, he had so many allergies and stuff. And I remember when he was a pup, the first time I took him to the vet, she said, now, with him having reactions to shots and stuff, he may not make it very long. Well, he was 13 years old when he passed away. So he gave us 13 beautiful, beautiful years. And amazing little fella. Just full of life and full of love. So, and even my daughter, I think she would understand that, no, we can't do this again. And we do still have, like I said, the cat. and he was rescued from the animal shelter, and I brought him home when he was a kitten. And him and Rebel were best friends and buddies. So I do still have my cat, and he is a love bug. And I've noticed he's even jumping up on my husband's lap and laying on my husband's lap. And it's, that was always Rebel's place. So I don't know if the cat can maybe feel our emotions and is trying to, maybe he's lost. I mean, that was his buddy. They slept together in the bed, side by side. I mean, they were always together, always playing. So maybe the cat's just looking, for his buddy too. Maybe the cat just don't understand. I'm sure he misses him because they were together all day, all night. But I just wanted to hop on here and let everybody know what's going on, and everybody know that we're making progress. We're doing good. Looking forward to start going down and getting the camper all opened up and ready. It's a really nice camper. It's almost like new. We just used it a few times last year, and it's a really big camper. So I'm looking forward to going down and getting that done. I'm sure that'll keep me occupied for a while. And I haven't been in the camper since late fall when we closed it up, got everything ready and winterized it. I did pick up a few things for the camper when I went out yesterday. And I found a real nice camper rug that's made to lay out in front of your campers, and it's really nice. And I like it because it just all folds up really nice. It'll be easy for storage in the camper. And I'd like to visit a few state parks maybe this year, just take the camper and just go exploring. It's we were limited with Rebel because I didn't want to expose him to a lot of different things. I know sand has sand ants, and he was allergic to that, allergic to grass, so we were limited, and I had to, like I said, pre-treat an area or pre-set up an area just for Rebel. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a big change. And my husband said, Rebel hated tears. He hated them. He said every time you cry, he'd come and lick every little tear and just whine and like, don't, mommy. He said, so don't cry. He said, Rebel wouldn't like that. And so, we did cry at first, and then we both agreed, no more crying. But again, like I said, trigger warning, his ashes are back. They put it in such a beautiful little box with this little paw prints on the top, some little paw prints. And this is his ashes. So Rebel. And it was a long wait. We definitely needed that. They came back earlier this week, but I just wasn't ready to talk about it. And like I said, trigger warning, some people don't believe in that. We do believe in cremation. That's just what we have chosen. And things are going to get better from here, I'm sure. I found myself laughing again whenever I didn't think I could laugh. And so, yeah, I mean, we all go through mourning process, and they say 7 stages to mourning. And I have to agree, there's at least 7 stages of mourning. There's shock, there's sorry, I thought my phone was off. There's shock, there is anger, sadness, bargaining. You keep questioning yourself, what could I have done? Is there anything more that I could have done? And even my vet said, you all have given him such an amazing life, an amazing life. You know, you had a very beautiful, loving home. And she said, so I want you to know that. And like I said, the rebel was never a pet. He was part of the family. But I did, like I said, I worked on the deck a little bit. I got my 3 small herb tray things. They're an oblong, about like this, and about so tall, and they're 3, and they're like a galvanized steel, and I've got herbs in all 3. I have parsley, oregano, and something else on top. I can't remember right now. And then I have thyme on the middle row, and then I have my chives on the bottom row. Basil, that's the one. I got basil and parsley and oregano on the top for my Italian seasonings. Then I have thyme on the middle one, and then I have the chives on the bottom. And then I did find one nice tomato plant. I've got small green tomatoes on. They're little grape tomatoes. So I did get that. And then I was hoping to get a bell pepper plant, but apparently I was too late. They didn't have any. They had hot peppers, which I can't do. I can't do anything spicy. So, but anyway, I wanted to come on here and just, remember Rebel, remember the wonderful life that he gave myself and my husband. I'm glad that he allowed us to be his family and showed us all the love and compassion that he did. For a little boy, he had the biggest heart in the world. Again, my heart is so grateful to the business that we chose. They have a regular funeral home, and then they also have the pet crematory. And they were so professional and so loving and so kind. And then again, I was so blessed with a wonderful veterinarian and her staff. And all of them knew and treated my Rebel as he was a family member, which that was so amazing. I didn't even have to explain myself, what I was feeling. They understood this was a family member, and that we were losing a member of our family. And with such professionalism, they treated me with kid gloves. They were so amazing, absolutely amazing. And what I would refer either one, my vet and the pet crematorium, to any of my friends, any of my family, to anyone that would be going through what I'm going through right now. And like I said, it's a mourning process. I'll have days where I'm very, very happy. His ashes come home Monday, and it took me until today, Wednesday, to come on live and talk about it. And again, trigger warning, the ashes that we received were my beautiful dog Rebel's ashes. And he's now home safe with mom and dad, where he belongs. And now we can move on through the stages of mourning and allow life to move forward. It's going to be baby steps, because I don't care what I do or what my husband does. It still hurts. It still hurts. But I'm sure that everyone out there that has fur babies understands what I'm going through. I just want to thank you all for being here with me as I'm going through this process and the loss of our fur baby. If you have a fur baby at home, again, give them a hug for me, from me. And I'm telling you, there's nothing more precious than the love that your animal can give you, because it doesn't matter what your home looks like. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter how much money you have. None of that matters. They see you with the biggest heart, every day, just waiting for you to come home, waiting to go for a walk, just to share your life with you. And it's an amazing experience to have a fur baby and to allow them into your home. But most importantly, for them to choose you to be their mommy and daddy. So I'm not going to stay on here very long today. It's been a hard week. I'm not going to lie. It's been rough. It seems like when I go to do things that I just can't keep my concentration. But I'm gaining. And for anyone out there that's feeling a loss today, I'm sending light and love, sending strength that you feel that light and love and that extra strength that you may need to make it through another day. And remember, if you're feeling lonely, reach out to somebody. There's always people there that you can reach out to. There's always people there you can talk to. If it be a family, a friend, reach out to somebody. Don't grieve alone. That's not good. That's not good for you. It's not a good thing to do. So again, I want to thank everybody that's been patient with me and understanding through this loss, for allowing me to get on here and just talk and know that there's somebody there that's listening. And I'm sending light, sending loves, virtual hugs to anyone that needs them today. And I'll see you again soon. So again, if you can not do anything else today, please be kind. It's free. Don't cost you anything. Someone may need just a smile today or some kind of kindness today. So if you can today, be kind to somebody. You may not know that they need that, but they may need it. And it may mean the world to them. So be kind. Everyone love one another. This world needs more kindness, more love, more understanding. That's what this world needs right now. So even in my sorrow and my grief, I want to send out love today. I want to send out light today and hope. We always have hope. And we'll see you again soon. Everyone have a wonderful day. It's going to be hot, I know, for several more days. Please listen to the heat advisories. Please stay hydrated, stay cool, stay inside, and stay safe. And until the next time, send in light and love. See you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.